Hello grade 10s. Here are tasks that will allow you to exercise the ideas about electromagnetic waves you developed in lessons 1 to 5. You'll need a pen and paper and a calculator. You might also watch the video lessons again to refresh your memory. You will also find the questions in the series guide. Here's the first question. YFM broadcasts on 99.2 MHz. What is the wavelength of the broadcast? Answer to the nearest meter. Here's some help. You remember the wave equation C is equal to frequency f multiplied by wavelength lambda. Can you remember how to rearrange it to make wavelength lambda the subject of the equation? Here's a hint. Divide both sides of the equation by f. Here's the second question. In a commentary box at a stadium, a radio announcer is reporting on a soccer match in Maputo. A group of people in the room can hear his voice. They are 6 meters away from him. As he speaks, the information is carried on a radio wave to Cape Town, where it is heard by someone listening to a radio. The straight line distance to Cape Town from Maputo is 1,600 kilometers. Who hears the news first? The people in the commentary box or the person in Cape Town listening on a radio? Take the speed of sound in air as 330 meters per second. Work your answers corrected to 3 decimal places. A visitor goes to the technician in the transmitting radio station. The station is broadcasting at 3,000 kilohertz. The visitor asks how much quicker the signal will reach Cape Town if he increases the frequency to 6,000 kilohertz. What will the technician tell the visitor, do you think? Domestic microwave ovens heat food with electromagnetic radiation at 2,450 megahertz. The usual way to write large numbers in science is as an integer, followed by a decimal point, followed by 2 decimal figures times a power of 10. So express 2,450 megahertz in this scientific notation. Your answer will be in the unit of gigahertz. What is the wavelength of radiation inside a microwave oven? The wavelength needs to be shorter than the dimensions of the metal box where you place the food. Another microwave oven radiates with a wavelength of 100 millimeters. Work out the energy of a photon of the radiation inside the microwave oven. Use the relationship energy E is equal to Planck's constant h times the frequency f. There are 2 ways to work this out. First, you know that the wavelength is 100 millimeters and you can work out the frequency f. The other method is to work with just the symbols until you get an equation that has E, C, H and lambda in it. Then you don't need to work out the frequency. You can use the wavelength that you are given. Here's the next question. Electromagnetic waves travel through vacuum, but they will also travel through some materials. Find some examples of such materials. On the other hand, certain materials absorb the energy of electromagnetic waves, and so the radiation does not pass through those materials. So this is the question. Design an investigation to find out which materials will absorb and stop radiation of 900 megahertz. You can use your cell phone as the receiver because 900 megahertz is the frequency of cell phone signals in South Africa. Here's the final question. The film Alien was a horror movie about the crew of a space station. A famous line from the film's advertising was, "In space, no one can hear you scream." What did the line mean? Would it always be true for the crew in the space station? I hope that you did not find these questions too hard. If you did, try working with a friend before you look at the answers. You will find answers in the series guide. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.